Well, that's the most important thing, even if it's for yourself. No, I
Right.
think that's it.
Yeah. No, I think that's it too. I think when you, it's really just kind of a growing up thing. I mean, you just kind of realize, somehow I'm moving to Paris and looking back at the experience of New York and looking back at the experience of Girls Against Boys and everything that had gone on, slowly, it took me a while to shed some of that cynicism that I kind of, felt like I kind of got from, I basically took music. It started out as something, really interesting to me, incredibly pleasurable to do. I kind of squeezed it into this thing. It got so into the business part of everything and everything else. So I kind of squeezed some of the what's supposed to be good. Or what I always liked about music was to be making something that I felt like was kind of honest and true, and felt like when I was singing something or doing something that maybe was a little bit revealing or a little bit, I was a bit scared maybe of even what I was saying in the early Girls Against Boys time, because it was so new to me to be a singer in a rock band and stuff, and that was so exciting. I just thought, by the time Girls Against Boys ended, I just felt like a automaton, on stage going through the motions, doing the thing, like I knew what I was doing, but I'd lost some of my imagination for and going back to the New York thing. I think you move to New York, your head is full of the imagination of what you can do with your life or what you can do with different things. And I think when you make music, you imagine it first. So you imagine something, a sound, something, a song, really. You imagine it, then you try to create it. But my imagination had gone completely flat. I just felt like there was nothing. I couldn't imagine anything. So I started looking back and thinking.
But how did you make the songs then? I mean, how can you write music even if you know that you've lost the imagination?
Well, it's the worst way to write it, because then it's like you're chasing something. It's like you're trying to grab something in the dark, because you don't have a vision of it anymore, And
but the songs, were there any, in retrospect, were the songs then good? If you look back on them now, can you still be proud of the songs that you've written in that period?
I can, but maybe I'm not as proud of them as I am maybe it's not pride so much. It's okay. Right. I think that it's
Are you happy with them?
I'm less happy with them. I'm more happy with the songs that were done in a spirit of the kind of frenetic energy of the band coming together. The stuff where it becomes more like it's a strange thing. It's like a thing where you learn what you're doing, so it's easy. It almost becomes easier to write songs, but you're kind of churning out. I'm not describing it well. You're kind of, I don't know, maybe you start to take less risks as part of it, because you start to kind of get an identity within something and you feel trapped in that identity, so you want to break out, take a few more risks, challenge yourself a little bit. And it's hard to do, and it's hard for me to explain why, except it's like a rut, It's like people go through a rut. You get into a rut, you need to break it up.